What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some news concerning Canelo Alverez, Tyron Woodley. Canelo Alverez says that, hey, Tyron holds no threat to me, but he would be open to fight Mr. Woodley. And what do I say to that? You got the highest paid boxer to date, wants to or is open to fight Tyron Woodley, a UFC fighter, a smash up, another smash up. We got Tyson Fury, we got Strowman, we had Floyd, we had McGregor. Now we got Canelo. And you know something funny about this is this whole thing. This is all wrong for the sport. For the sport itself, you got guys like Charlo, Andre, Danny Jacobs, Triple G. You have Callum Smith. You have a lot of fighters. You have Benavidez. You have Kovalev, which he's fighting. So you got to give him props for that. He's fighting Kovalev. But then you have Bivol. You have so many different fighters, so many different possible fights that could be made besides a UFC fighter. And the first time I heard this and I read this caption, I read it like yesterday. I really wasn't even going to do a video about this, but I was asked to do a video about it, give my counterpunch on it, and here it is. Silver platter. Canelo has began to look at money as forms of integrity or over integrity. Your integrity for a boxer, being a boxer, should be that. Fight boxers, respect boxers for their craft, see if you are better or you're not better. That was the credo that I understood from Canelo Alverez. It wasn't, hey, let me fight a couple good fights and let me move through the weight classes. And then out of nowhere, out of all the particular weight classes that I've moved from, 160, 168, 175 now, out of all those possibilities and different options that you have as a boxer, you want to be open to fight Tyron Woodley, which is a totally different fighter from a totally different sport. It has Mayweather, Fury, all that shit written all over it. This makes it more, and it makes it worse. You know why it makes it worse? Because it makes this shit acceptable. The more people do things like this, the more other people are going to do things thinking it's a money grab. That's all this is. He's thinking, hey, let me get the UFC crowd. I'm bigger than the Zone. I'm bigger than Golden Boy. I'm Canelo Alvarez. So me being Canelo Alvarez, I want someone that's going to give me the type of attention that I need. Remember, he said it's for business, right? What do you think that means? That means that he knows the statistics of UFC. He knows how these numbers run. He's on a new platform, the Zone. Maybe Canelo's not happy with the numbers. Whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter because you signed a $365 million contract. It could mean that, or it could mean you just want to take this fighter on to buffer out and to separate yourself from all the other possible boxers that could give you problems, like Andre. Okay? He had 2 close fights with Golovkin. You have Derenchenko that showed and turned out to be no slouch, right? Callum Smith. You have so many different fighters that he could fight, and he chooses this out of all the times where everyone wants to fight him. He chooses this now. Suspect. Okay? That's what that calls to me. That's what that means to me. You're trying to fight a UFC fighter. I can understand if Canelo was retired or he was tired of the sport or whatever. I get that at that point. See what you can do with a young fighter or whatnot, like Tyron Woodley, which is very fast, very quick. He's a very effective striker. I love to see his fights. He puts combinations together very well. But Canelo calling him out raises a red flag to boxing overall, because he is an ambassador of the boxing. Not boxing / UFC / anything else, but boxing, okay? That's what makes this shit so bad. And speaking of them criticizing Floyd for fighting McGregor, wasn't it Oscar De La Hoya that said this is a disgrace to boxing? Until he knocks him out, until he's seen the dollar signs, the money behind it, the hype behind it, and the money represented the hype because the hype represented the success, and the success represented back to the money. Okay? They made a lot of fucking money, McGregor and Floyd did. So maybe Oscar, what he's doing is, hey, I want him to be a bigger star. I want him to be bigger than Floyd. You know, that's Oscar. He wants to use Canelo as a tool to get back at Floyd for damn near winning against him. That's safe to say. So I think Oscar, he's like, hey, we've seen the money that McGregor Floyd made. Maybe we can do that on a smaller platform and keep coming up from there. But at first, people thought that was a joke. It was an exhibition. It was this, it was that. And the same people that are talking that shit now they're trying to duplicate it. Talking all that shit about, oh, why is he fighting a UFC fighter? That's not a real fight. It would have been a real fight if McConnor would have knocked him out. It would have. Sorry. Nonetheless, he did that. Okay? So, it is what it is, man. I think that Canelo should really focus on boxers overall. See, because let's say the worst case scenario, he fights Tyron Woodley, and he does very well. He makes a whole lot of different revenue from the UFC side or whatnot. But what does that do for him as a fighter? See, him fighting a guy like that could deter his relationship or his progress in fighting elite fighters. So if he goes, fights Woodley, wins, comes back to the true sport of boxing and gets his ass beat. Why? Nothing prepared him for the guy at hand. He's used to guys, you fight Tyron and okay, cool. He might get lazy after that. We don't know. But again, this is some crazy news. Do you think the fight will happen? First of all, I want you guys to tell me if you think it's right. What's your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments below. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.